Mancala. 6 to 8 inches of encreviced wood that bridge the gap between space and time. You may know it as the backyard merriment of soccer mom families, or as a preschool pastime from your days of yore. But how well do you really know the practice? What if I told you that there's so much more to the practice of Mancala than simply that game with the beads? With over 800 variants and several thousand years in its repertoire, each of these beads is bursting with an extravagance of untold history. Where did it all begin, and what does it all mean? How did it get from the dawn of civilization to the corner of your coffee table? I'm Nick Rexrode. Come join me as we go on a journey through the magnificent microcosm of Mancala.
Hey up, oh, have him away, have him away, have him away. Hey up, so have him away, have him away, have him away.
As Aristotle once said, if you would understand anything, you must observe its beginning and its development. But where would you begin with Mancala?
Africa, baby, yeah!
Now, before there was Mario, before there was chess, and before there was even agriculture, there was Mancala, right on the Dark Continent.
While we know the ancient pastime originated in Africa, just when, how, and why seem to be an elusive discovery. Where the crap am I? I set out to the National Museum of Mancala to find out for myself.
This is the earliest evidence we have of the Mancala game. We found it outside of Cairo in Egypt, and we dated it to about the 4th century AD.
Now, as I understand it, this is in very good condition.
Yeah, the restoration process was quite extensive. Under here there was some salt deposits, and there was actually a bit of poop, rhinoceros poop over in these holes. So we had to clean all this out, make the finish after we sanded it, but it I think it's a lot better than when we dug it out of the ground.
May I? I noticed
of course.
When you were flipping it over, this feature, what does it represent?
Don't do it. We forgot to take it off after the restoration process. It's nothing.
Now, if I'm not correct, this is the only intact piece of evidence you found from Africa. Is there any other period dated, I guess not complete, items you found?
We have found other records of counting capture, like Mancala games. Even further back, like a record of George Washington's Mancala.
Yes, yeah.
The big question is, every year anthropologists are finding more and more traces of these prehistoric Mancala games, and yet nobody has explained how such a purely intellectual and mathematically centered game could be most prevalent at a primal prehistoric level.
Now, do we have the grounds to say that there's extraterrestrial interference in Mancala? Without reservation.
Now, before we get bored with Africa, ask yourself, how did Mancala get into Europe? You guessed it, the Romans.
Now, a lot of folks don't know this, but during the Roman annexation of Africa, they came into contact with the Betsamika Raka tribe. Now, this turned out to be an incredibly serendipitous encounter, not only because they performed similar dances to the hokey pokey, but because these tribesmen were struck by Mancala madness.
Okay, Greeks, Kami, Libs, okay? I'll tell you why, because they didn't play Mancala, that's why. Okay, Romans, come in, kick butt, hey.
Baffled by the newfound treasure, the Roman nobles played the board game in secrecy, away from the plebs. They knew too much Mancala could be dangerously enlightening. Alas, the Roman Empire fell and Mancala became a mystery. Until a young explorer by the name of Marco Polo would bring it home in his journals. Suddenly, Mancala madness was back.
Matter of fact, the earliest writings of Bartholomew Diaz and even Henry the Navigator show primary inspiration for African voyages to rediscover Mancala.
The race for Mancala was on, and it was only a few centuries before the game re-emerged from the darkness and spread throughout Western Europe and into the Americas. Mancala was a global phenomenon. The only thing holding it back was how to play. I spoke with Nick Vaca and Jesse Deneen, masters of Mancala and founders of the LCHS Mancala team, to see what all the fuss was about.
Jesse and I here encounter hundreds of miserable imbeciles each year just trying to learn 3 forms of this first century tribal game.
They can't do it. We have to teach them.
William Julius Champion Jr., an All-American graduate from Yale University, invents Kala in 1940, and, after 15 years of laborious financing, he had founded the official Kala Game Company in Holbrook, Massachusetts.
Champion was a struggling American, but he finally managed to secure his place in world history with the advent of a fun, simple, ancient African pastime of mathematics and merriment.
Now, Willie was a jocular fellow. He really brought the party wherever he went. During his meals, it would often devolve into a kind of African picnic.
Okay, hey, let me tell you something, alright? Alright, there's 800 versions of Mancala out there, and hey, there's one real one, and that's the American version Kala, alright? And hey, anything other else that they tell you, okay, that is lib propaganda, okay?
But Willie had never seen the height of Mancala during his lifetime. As other generic board games struck an all-time high with American consumers, Mancala was quickly overshadowed and once again faded into obscurity. Wake up, America! The 80s were here, and with them came a revival in conservative economics, catchy dance music, and Mancala madness.
Mancala merchandise, Mancala music, Mancala the movie, Mancala video games. It was a Mancala miracle, to say the least.
It really was what got America revving again.
Okay, hey, America, Reagan, okay, Mancala comes in, and America, hey.
Today, you can find Mancala pretty much anywhere in American society. Even though the game has lost some of its momentum, Mancala momentum, you can bet your bottom dollar that this isn't the last you'll see of it.
We created Mancala Mondays to
Harness?
to harness the essence of those who played before us and the dreams that they dreamed in hopes of a Mancala paradise.
Mancala is coming back, people, and we are on the rise!
Mancala follows a pretty strict pattern. It seems like it'll just fade into obscurity, out of the public eye, but I think its resurgence is always on the horizon.
Mancala will just never die. It's been around for thousands of years, and it will be around for 1,000 years more.
America.
The myth, the mystery, the magic, and the marvel, all held within the span of a couple feet of wood. Mancala is a story which writes itself with the ink of time, and your time to become a part of it is now! For only 2 easy payments of $9.99, you can secure your place among the greats as a premium member of the LCHS Mancala team. But wait, there's more! If you join now, I'll throw in donuts, mots, and exclusive access to executive club meetings, all absolutely free! Will you become a part of Mancala history? I'm Nick Rexford, and I'll see you later.
Gonna take a lot